Guys, I have to admit, I'm a Seikoholic. So I think the first step is admitting it. I think many of you guys are as well. Before we get into that topic, I want to point out that I did get a couple more postcards. I got the Iowa one, and then today I just received the Odessa, Texas one. I'm not 100% sure who sent that because it came to my home address, so it must be somebody that has dealt with me before. There was a address on there, but I'm not. So chime in, let me know if that was you. If it was, big thanks. Maybe I'm just being silly or something. I just forgot or something. But back to the Seikoholic. I didn't work overtime today. I came home, hung out a little bit, and I opened up some mail. I just received some stuff that I was waiting on for a very long time from the Netherlands, and I'll cover that in a second. But I noticed something that is happening because I took a journey away from Seiko and tried a bunch of stuff, and then before you know it, I'm right back here. So I'm not sure what happened. And I'm not going to keep all these, I think. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. So, but here's the plans that I can tell you. This is how it spiraled at first with my recent acquisitions. So I wanted to mod an SKS. So I bought the 009. And Mark at Long Island Watch hooked me up, gave me exactly what I wanted. The chapter ring isn't perfect, but I have a Yaboki's chapter ring coming, and I'm hoping when I install that and a new crystal, I'll be able to get all that dialed in. I was going to do the Patty dial mod, and then once I received it, I decided not to, so then I ordered which we think is the Blue Lagoon, but it's pretty dark. It's in the packaging, but it's really close to the Patty. And then the more I thought about it, and the more I wore the 009, which has been darn near a month, and it's running about 10 or 12 seconds slow over a month, and it's still getting broken in, I realized that I actually really dig the dark blue of it. So I went ahead and ordered the dark blue dial from the SRP 773. So here, let's pop it out of the package. I was going to try to make a quick video, but you know what? We're all Seikoholics. We can slow down and talk about our disease here for a minute. So this is basically the same color as the 009 dial. It's super dark blue, but we're going to have the, I don't know if those are applied or what they are, but yeah, applied indices basically. So I think it's going to look like a more modern 009, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm going to now try to accomplish. So I have a, over here in this container, I have a new handset. So I'm going to build a drop-in, and then I have the NH36 back there. So I will assemble the NH36 with this dial, fresh handset, and then I'm still waiting on a SARB 059 stem and crown. So it'll all be factory Seiko parts, with the exception of the crystal, which I just recently decided I'm going to go ahead and swap that, and I guess the Yaboki's chapter ring, which maybe I'll do the drop-in first and show you guys it in that form, and then I can pull it back out and I can do the crystal. But I'm still going to go with a flat crystal from Crystal Times. I'm going to go with a flat crystal with AR coating, and it'll have the chamfer. So it's going to look like an OEM Seiko mod, but it's going to have some AR on it. And then I also have my good friend Jonathan just ordered a SKX 007. So that's the black one. And we're going to mod his. We're going to do the crystal with the AR coating, and then we're going to put the this dial in there. And as far as I know, unless he changes his mind, we're going to do the factory SKX hands. We're going to keep the 7S26 movement in his, but it'll be this dial with the black chapter. I think it's going to look pretty cool because in certain light, that dial is going to catch, and you're going to be able to see, whoa, that's actually blue with the black chaptering. It's going to look awesome. But in a lot of low light situations, it's just going to look like an enhanced 007. So it's going to look pretty sweet. And plus he'll have the stock Jubilee, which I just did a video on that. I think he is also a big fan of the stock Jubilee, as he actually was the one that bought my 011 a while ago. Also, friend of the show made a trade with me, and I received his, what is this, the 315. And again, in pictures, this thing isn't justified. Once you get this thing in hand, it looks so cool, the contrast on it. And then the bezel action on this one is exactly how I like it. It is not loose. It's like darn near perfect. So I'm hesitant to even mod this one. But what I wanted to do with this one is I ordered a bezel. So I was going to do that, and I wanted to show you guys that, which a couple of people have done that in the past, and that looks really good. And then I ordered the polished, well, not polished, but that style, you know, the regular metal crown in stem. So that's on its way. Actually, I ordered 2 of them. I have 2 of them coming, and I have another one of these coming too, if I'm honest. Let's be honest, we're Seikoholics, so if one is good, 2 is even better, right? So I ordered 2 of each of those. And I don't even have anything to put them on. I don't know why I did it. I do have some ideas, but we'll cover that in a minute. So my original plan was to put the regular bezel on there, the regular stem and crown, and then I was going to swap the 311 dial in there, which I really like the contrast on this. It's so defined and great looking, especially in person. But this one, with the regular case and the bezel and the crown, I've seen pictures. Matt Webb did it a while ago, back when we were all on the IWA forum. And then he took it back apart and he put it back to stock. So it didn't, I don't think there's one out there currently. If there is, let me know. If you have it, if you built one like this. But if not, I'm excited to build it and basically claim the only one that has one. I don't think Seiko ever did a version like that, as far as I know. So I think that's going to look great. Well, I know it's going to look great. I've seen pictures of mats like that. And I'll keep the stock crystal on. This thing is in really good shape. And I'm sorry I didn't take notes of the guy I traded with, but you know who you are, and I'll give you props when I remember your name. I just wasn't even gonna make this video. I just came down here and realized what I did. I mean, I have all these Seikos. Granted, the black one is my son's, which I'm gonna take that apart. I did notice in the pictures when I was showing you on one of my last videos, there's a little bit of something on one of the hands, so I'm gonna take that apart and clean that up. I may or may not show that in a video. I'm going to try to show the mods I do in video. I'll see if it works. I built that rig right there so I can shoot overhead video. I can try to do the overhead video, or I can do this angle and try to work around, but it might be easier to have the overhead and try to work down like this, and hopefully you guys can get a good vantage point. So that's the next step, I think. I'm not sure which one I'm going to do first. I think I'm still kind of waiting on the stem and crown on this one, even though it will be very easy to do the drop-in build on that, and you guys could see that really easy, and then I can drop it in later, or I can do the monster one and show you how to pull the movement out, you know, pull the hands off, swap in the new dial, put the hands back on, and then pop the bezel out, swap that out. It's relatively easy, assuming everything goes good. It should. This has a gasket installed in there, so I haven't really had any issue with the factory Seiko stuff, taking them apart and putting them back together. But I just want to give you a quick update. Oh, and then the other, I guess, plan was part of in doing the drop-in build with the NH36 into my 009, which I'm kind of hesitant to do because this thing is running so well. But what I was going to do is I was going to take this assembly and then drop it into this watch, because that's a pretty cool looking mod too. So there is some issues when you start getting into modding. I'm a novice, and a lot of people that take it on in the beginning obviously are, so it's pretty easy to get frustrated with a little bit of modding that I've done. It's easy to damage something. You know, you can always fix it for the most part. You can either fix it or just run it and deal with a flaw that you may have created, or you can just order new parts. With the whole ordering new parts issue I'm having is, like, this thing came from France. I did find the other one I ordered is actually coming from California. So some of these parts are not as accessible as you would hope they would be. Like this, you know, the patty dial came from the US. This dark blue one and this monster dial, these both came from the Netherlands. I have a couple other parts coming from the Netherlands. I'm just buying the stuff on eBay. And these are all, like, you know, you're talking 45, 45, 45, 45. You know, this is, I think, $40 or $45. Like, the parts start to add up. You know, the crowns, the movements, everything's like, you know, in between $35 and $50 every time you buy something. So it might get to the point, if I can find deals on watches, maybe they're damaged. Always watch eBay. It might be a better option to buy a complete watch that's damaged and part it out and use the parts. But I think once I do a couple of mods, I may not do a whole lot of mods afterwards. I might get it out of my system. You know, with doing this monster, my 009, Jonathan's 007, I might take a break for a little bit. You know, especially if I do the SNK 809, which I haven't even worn. I have not went out and looked for an 18 millimeter strap option for it. It just feels too small on wrist. So I doubt I'm going to wear this. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this one. I may or may not mod it, or I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It might be something that I give away or something. We'll see. And then, you know, Alpinist in the back, kind of camouflaged back there, but that thing's awesome. I'll be wearing that again soon. When I go, I have a trip coming up. I'll be going to Florida. So when I do that, just a heads up, I'm going to only take 3 watches. I'm going to probably take my Orange Monster, my Alpinist, and a G-Shock. So that'll be my trip watches. So that's a super long video, Seikoholic craziness. You know, let me know down in the comments what kind of Seikoholic addiction you have going and how it spirals out of control. You know how it goes. So talk to you soon, very soon.